All right, positive energy all the time. Run those likes up, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, support the channel, and represent your city. Much respect to everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. Salute, salute. One love to all the beautiful ladies out there. Rep your city, rep your city. We got Baltimore in the building. We got San Jose in the building. We got Orlando in the building. We got Atlanta in the building. Here I go with a touchy conversation, but it's got to be done. Based on our situations as foundational Black Americans in the United States, we're going to have to buckle down and do for self. We have a lot of problems that we have to deal with. We don't have a lot of energy to be spending outside of our own situation. We have to be spending time building the economics, trying to calm down some of the gang violence, trying to create businesses, and trying to create some type of economical circulation amongst ourselves. I think foundational Black Americans are tricked a lot of times to get involved with other groups that aren't FBA, that focus on their own group and kind of pretend they deal with us, but mostly for economical benefits. Not really. I don't think we see any benefits from immigrants. It's not nothing I'm happy to say, but I don't see it. I'll give you an example, like Jamaican restaurants. None of that money comes back to us. A portion of it probably goes to Jamaica, and if it goes to Jamaica, you're not going to see it again. The money that Black woman is going spending with Koreans, a lot of that money is going to go to Korea. We're not going to see it again. I think the only money we're going to see again is the money we spend with ourselves and the money we spend with white America. I think white America is money that will at least stay in the country where we can get it, where we can get jobs from the money. We work real tightly with white America in this country at many of these companies, nurses, doctors. We don't work in any Black immigrant businesses or Asian immigrant business or Hispanic immigrant businesses. We don't have any economical benefits from them. We don't work with them and their companies. As foundational Black Americans, we don't really have a lot of the companies like we should have. We've been making all our money from white America. To be honest with you, we ain't making no money from nobody else. How much money we making from Africans? How much money we making from Blacks from the Caribbean? How much money we making from Asians and Hispanics? We're not making anything with them. All our money we making off of white American companies and corporations. They're the ones that run these hospitals we work at and these schools and universities we work at, the bus company, the train company, the police department. That's a mixture of white and black America that makes that out. That's American businesses. We're not making any money from immigrant businesses. We're going to get back to that, though. I just wanted to drop that because, people playing with us. Now, I don't believe in hate because hate is not business. So I don't think we should be hating immigrants or nothing like that. But when it comes to business, we need to buckle down on business. And business is business, and business is not friendship. Business is business. And I speak for all foundational Black Americans when I say we got to be about business. We don't really need no friends. We need money. We don't need no friends. If we want friends, we need to learn how to be friends with each other. I don't think it makes any sense for foundational Americans to be trying to buddy with a lot of immigrants while we got gang violence and violence amongst ourselves. I think we need to learn to love ourselves. Most of the time when people don't love themselves and they extend their love outward, they hate themselves. You ever lived in a family, maybe with your brother, your sister, and your brother and sister the more they love their friends, the less they care about you. You ever notice that? Like you got two brothers and two sisters, the more they love people outside of your family, the less they love you. You ever notice that? The more they love everybody else, the less they love their own. And this is something that foundational Black Americans need to get straight. I think back in the 80s when we started caring about South Africa and all that, looking back, that was a mistake. That haven't benefited us none. Standing up for apartheid and all that, it was a waste of time. Them South Africans ain't did nothing that showed no love back at all. We should have let them figure it out on their own. We're going to have to play hardball. And arguing and debating back and forth, I ain't going to get it. I had a brother come over here and start making comments before the video went live. I just deleted him. I don't want to talk to him. That's not going to put no money on our plate. We need to buckle down and put money. Ain't nobody, listen, you don't see us. Do you see foundational Black Americans going on Chinese websites where they got their Chinese restaurants and beefing with them? Do you see foundational Black Americans going on Korean websites, all the money they take from the Black women and beefing with them? But you constantly see Black immigrants trolling us. Stop dealing with them. I'm not saying hate them. I'm just saying we don't got time to focus on that at all. And I'm not talking about hating nobody, because even hating somebody is focusing. How much time you got to focus loving or hating somebody when, as a people, you in the belly of the beast and you got to do what you got to do over here? You don't got time to love or hate nobody but ourselves. We need to focus. Many times when we talk about focusing on ourselves, it gets mixed with hating somebody else. It's just as bad as focusing on. You're still focusing on them. So I'm not preaching hate. I'm preaching let's do for self and stop paying attention to anybody that's outside of our circle. I was posting a bunch of reggae songs on my Instagram, but when I seen the Jamaicans start disrespecting Black Americans after the hurricane just because one sister, I said, well, I ain't no need of me keep playing it. And you know why? Because we pay attention to it. That's the only reason. If they made that stuff and we didn't pay attention to it and we blocked them out of our circles, they wouldn't make it no more because they don't want to hear each other talking about it. You're paying attention to this stuff. Stop paying attention to that. Delete them and block them. Stop responding. Stop responding to black immigrants. Delete it, block them, and focus. Stop responding. Stop sharing the negative stuff they ignore. Listen, how is that going to help us paying attention to them? Show me the benefits of paying attention to that. Show me the economical benefits of paying attention to what some people all the way in Africa got to say about us. Show me how paying attention to that is of any benefit whatsoever. You could be spending your energy on something else. If you want to beef and make money, then become a boxer, a wrestler or something. But just to be beefing for free, what's up with that? The Foundation of Black America, stop beefing for free. And focus. Because while you're on the internet beefing with black immigrants, there's Foundation of Black Americans out here gangbanging. We need to be focusing on them and getting them to stop. But we're going to get into the conversation. Come on in, hit the like button, share, subscribe, support the channel. Now, what I'm talking about is I see something that's so strange. I mean, strange situations. Because ever since we've been pushing foundational Black Americans and we've been pushing lineage and we've been pushing delineating, I've been seeing black immigrants upset about us delineating, saying we are all brothers and sisters, but they're already delineated. So imagine somebody that's a Nigerian. To be identified as a Nigerian is delineate. You delineate. That's delineating. You are a Nigerian. You are a specific type of black person. You're not a unified black person. You're a Nigerian. That's delineation. That's delineating. So imagine us want to identify ourselves as FBA, and you pissed that we want to delineate, but you're already delineated. Does that make any sense? Like if you're Jamaican, you're already delineated. If you're Haitian, you're already delineated. If you're Ethiopian, you're already delineated. So we say, okay, we're FBA, and you got a problem with us being delineated, but you're already delineated. Does that make this make you say, okay, these is haters? Because you've already got a separate, distinct identity, but you don't want us to have one. You want us to be the part of the pot while you can be distinctive when you get ready. You can turn back into a Jamaican or turn back into a Ghanaian. So you can talk that we all brothers today and you can be Ghanaian tomorrow and just leave me, we all brothers. Is that what? It's just the most confusing thing. You would think that other black people that's already delineated would say, yeah, y'all need to do like what we doing. No. They want us to be all brothers and sisters, only us. Only foundational Black Americans. We the only one that other Black people want to be brotherly. They ain't brotherly worth a damn. They don't practice none of that. They stick to their particular culture. They ain't even Africans in Africa. Imagine somebody in Africa that don't get along as different types of Africans trying to tell me and them is brothers. And you ain't even brothers with the dude in the next country next to you. If you don't get your ass out of here, Africans are the most phoniest ones. They do not get along. Not as tribes and not as people from different countries. They need to just shut totally up. Brothers and sisters in the Caribbean too. They don't get along. They not Caribbeans. They need to shut up too. Ain't no Jamaican, Trinidadian, Haitian unity. Ain't no unity between island Blacks from the islands. Ain't no unity there. What can they say about us delineating? They ain't got no unity. None. You brothers that ain't foundation, y'all need to shut up with the unity stuff. Go practice what you preach and then get back at it. It's cool when we do it. You say it's cool when they do it, but when we do it, it's a problem only because we allow it to be a problem. So I'm glad you said that, Michael, because that's our fault. That's our fault. Because we ain't supposed to listen. We ain't supposed to listen to them. Block them. Listen, Foundation Black Americans, anybody got any comment to say about you when you pushing FBA reparations, block them, delete them, and do not respond. This is how you get the point across. I'm going to start reading my comments and responding to y'all in my comments on my YouTube, because I haven't done it, but I should interact. You might be asking me questions. So I'm going to start reading my comments. But if you're not on my side, I'm not responding. I'm deleting you. Period. I'm not responding. Once you let me know you over here and I'm over there, I'm not responding. Stay over there. I'm not responding to you. Because it's a game you're trying to play to distract me. And I got things I got to do here in the United States. See, Foundation Black Americans, we need to concentrate. Y'all see what's going on with this government here. And we already got an enemy over here. We ain't really got no whole lot of room for no black enemies right now. I'm going to just keep it real. We already got funny stuff going over here, which we can't depend on them to help us with at all. I'm going to just keep it real. We can't depend on black immigrants at all. They basically worthless unless the money that they come over here and get and pretend so they could do some black cultural whatever to try to do whatever their hustle is. But other than that, they're worthless. They're not bringing anything to the table. Nothing. They're eating off the table, but they won't even bring nothing to the dinner. I don't even think they want a part of money. I think, Auntie, I just think they've always been jealous of us. I believe that black immigrants been sitting back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and seen that we was international superstars and was jealous. They was jealous because we was cheered in their country where they lived at. They had to be in Africa and hear about James Brown and Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, and they hated it. some of them. That's what I believe. I believe it's jealousy because, look, it's only 50 million of us, and we the biggest blacks in the world. Period. That's why they try to push that African music, what it's called. That's what that's all about. Try to see if that's gonna go global. Which, yeah, we ain't gonna listen to that. And if we don't listen to it, it ain't going nowhere. We're not gonna listen. We not gonna listen to that. No bootleg African reggae, like a dance hall, mix. Nobody gonna listen to that. Afrobeat is trash. Afrobeat hated on reggae, and they came in with Fela and King Sunny Ade. I was here when it all, and they came in, and then they went and they took it. They tried to mix a little bit of the reggae. It's all make believe. It's basically biting. It's basically copying other people and watering it down to make it appear as yours. Basically, I watched it all happen. They snuck in with reggae. It was King Sunny Ade and it was Fela. And they snuck in under reggae, started pushing Afrobeat on the reggae shows. It's always been an infiltrator. It's not original. It's a hybrid mixture of stuff. I don't got no problem with them enjoying it. I'm just saying, what does that mean? It don't mean nothing to us. I'm not gonna support no music from no people that don't even mess with me. None of the Africans here that go to their shows mess with us. So what the hell do? Okay, they go to their Afrobeat show. They separated from us. They don't do anything with us. Nothing. They don't attend our churches. They don't attend our events. They're not brotherly or sisterly at all, but they'll braid your hair and take your money or sell you some food or something. But they ain't going to support nothing you got. You got to support them. They're not supporting nothing you got. You understand? I ain't hating on them. I'm just saying I'm ignoring them. It's of no benefit to me. And the people that listening to it, I wouldn't consider my brothers and sisters. I don't consider other black people my brothers and sisters. I used to think we was our brothers and sisters until more came to the United States and I seen how they behaved. I said, oh, this ain't no brothers or no sisters. These is pirates. These are people trying to come and sponge off us. These people don't deal with us. They don't look at us as no brothers and no sisters. That's all fake. They do not look at us as brothers and sisters. When we start clamping down, they start talking that brothers and sisters stuff to try to make some money. The same thing we see all the time. We seen that with Bracken Brown back in the late 70s and the 80s when the white American government was coming down hard on the Mexicans. The Mexicans started talking about black and brown love. As soon as they got in L.A., they started firebombing black people's house in Compton, and we were straight enemies. Now they there pretending they Crips and Bloods. And they in L.A. copied the Crips and Bloods and overpowering the brothers in L.A. with their own gang culture and took it, trying to rap in everything and don't even like you. But my thing ain't so much a big problem with them. My thing is a problem with us, like we not doing what we supposed to be doing. And we shouldn't be arguing with nobody about us delineating, and they already delineated. That's the only thing I wanted to bring to y'all attention. They are delineated. So do not waste your time trying to explain why we delineating to people that's already delineated. That don't make no sense. And some people, look, delineate. To describe, portray, or set forth with accuracy or in detail. Is to describe who you are in detail. We all, brothers and sisters, do not describe foundational Black Americans in detail. What describes us is foundational Black Americans. That's what delineating is. And how could somebody say we can't delineate when they are already delineated? Describe, portray, define, designate, differentiate, distinguish, identify, personalize, represent, stamp, typify, mark, brand, dub, or tag. Delineated people are individuals whose roles, characteristics, and boundaries have been clearly and precisely described, defined, and outlined. Boundaries. This can refer to the detailed portrayal of a character in a story, the specific duties of a person and organization, or the clear boundaries of a role or responsibility. Now, when we want to do that, we shouldn't be wanting to argue with nobody over doing that. We should not. Let's just do what we do. Get this information to the young people. You know, we got to get this information to our children and grandchildren and cousins. We got to get this information to foundational Black Americans. We cannot waste time when we got things to do. And we can't waste time with people that's not going to waste time with us. They just going to waste time. They're going to spend time with us when they can afford to. Soon as they can't afford to, they ain't going to be thinking about you. Just hating on what you're doing, and you should block them. Let Tyreek deal with it. He's doing a great job. Everybody else stay on point. Let him deal with that. He's doing a good job. Going to war with the ones who want to hate on us. The rest of us need to focus on reparations. Need to focus on these corporations that owe us money. Need to focus on making sure everybody even know to identify as foundational Black Americans. And the same thing for the Blacks that all of a sudden want to be Native Americans. Block them out. Get them out of here. Because you know they haters. Because why would they bring that into what you're trying to do? If you're a brother and you feel you're a Native American, and all of a sudden you see us formulating FBA, why would you come over here with that? That shows you got bad intentions. That rather us letting us do what we do, you want to try to tear that down and try to come with some weirdo division to build up your thing that ain't never went nowhere yet. All you brothers calling yourself Native Americans, It ain't went nowhere. Okay? Because when they gave the other people reparations, you didn't get a dime. So don't try to be no Native American now when them other people got all the casinos and all that. You didn't get nothing. Your movement already flopped. This is to you Native American brothers and sisters. Y'all already dropped the ball and flopped. So don't come over here with that. Stay where you at. And you can tell a person when they jump out of what they doing into what you doing, you can tell they got bad intentions. Because they would just stay where they at and just do what they do. They wouldn't be like, you're not gonna see me go find nobody talk about Native American stuff and jump over there. But you see them, see us talk about foundational Black America, and you see them jump over here. This is how you know somebody on the dark side. They don't really have your best intentions. Because if they got an ideology, why don't stay over there where it's at? Why are they jumping into what we're doing? Block them out because they don't have your best interest. Because they won't even stay focused on their own belief system. If you believe you're Native American, go to the Native American YouTube pages. Why would you even be on FBA pages or adults? Because you're a phony. You're an agent of chaos. You're an enemy. And what you say you are, you're not, because you would just stay there and be that. And you would draw people over there instead of trying to come into our thing and draw people out of what we doing into your thing. Build your thing and let people come on their own, if that's what you are. Because as soon as we get reparations, all of a sudden you're going to be FBA. Because you blacks that's trying to call yourself Native Americans, you ain't going to never get nothing. Because you're not going to get nothing without recognizing slavery and the brown people that picked all this cotton and dug up all this land. You trying to pretend you was running around with a bow and arrow when your ass was picking cotton too. Who you fooling? Because the white Native Americans had black slaves too. And when the whites conquered them and made them march across the United States, they took their slaves with them. You was a slave under the five great Indian nations. You was a slave. Don't none of you all, I wouldn't even waste my time talking to any of their historians. I wouldn't waste my time. I would tell their historians, stay out of business. That's what I would tell them. Mind your business, stay out of our business. There's penalties for getting in our business. Everybody just don't want to talk to you. Some people are serious about you getting out their business. That's what I would say. Stay out of business. Go mind your Native American business. Don't start trying to use us to push your dying, weak ideology. And this is what people do. When they see you start building something strong, they want to take what they got and bring it in and start all of a sudden, no, we Moors. The whole Moorish thing die out. Every time we try to do something here, they try to raise up the Moorish teachings on the back of us trying to get something. Other than that, you ain't gonna hear nothing about that nonsense. You can always see it. This vampire, spider, bloodsucker type of stuff where every time we try to do something, here come opposition to bring confusion. The Moors are professional distractors to tear down movements rather than build a movement. Go build your movement. Stop trolling. All they do is troll other people's movements. Soon as you talk about something, they want to come in your stuff. No, brother, we not black. Bro, we not even a we. I'm black. I'm a grown man. Can't no grown man tell me how to identify myself. And you're doing it on the internet. You ain't going to do that outside. Ain't no more going to try to tell me I'm not what I said I am outside. It'd be a problem for that. That'd be a problem. I'd only tell you one time, shut up, talk to me. I'll probably try to leave, to be honest with you. But if I'm in my territory, you the one going to leave. You're going to have to get out and go to your Moorish territory. Because at that point, you like from one gang in another gang's territory trying to tell them they should be that gang. Basically, I mean, in Chicago, that's how we would look at it. How you going to go into the other gang's territory, tell them they should be what you are? Go over where you at then and stay over there. Stay in your Moorish place on your Moorish websites and your Moorish conversations and stop coming in foundational Black American conversation because your conversation is weak. And every time Hebrews do it too. Soon as they feel threatened with some strength, they start pushing their weak philosophies that ain't going nowhere. Every time. And it's time for foundational Black Americans to really push what we pushing and stop arguing with these people and kick them out of our circle. Y'all brothers need to stop arguing with anybody, push them out your circle. Because all the time you doing arguing with them, you could be growing the movement with people that's wide open and ready to come into this movement. Why would you waste time with somebody that ain't gonna never gonna get in it anyway? Get them the hell out of here. You can't grow nothing like that arguing with opposition. You looking for more support. While we too busy arguing with opposition, we could be building more support, more momentum. You're not gonna build no momentum with somebody that's against what you're doing. You're just wasting your time. Basically, you're just wasting time. We don't got no time to waste like that. And we don't do it in real life. I've been around the Rasta community forever. Ain't no Jamaican never face-to-face tried to tell me nothing like that. They do that amongst themselves. They ain't never ran up on me in no United States trying to push no law and order in the United States. Everybody knew that I'm the Rasta run this turf right here. You run Jamaica or Trinidad or something. You don't run nothing up here. You don't run nothing up here. You're not at home. I'm a Black American. It's a whole bunch of Black Americans up here. Your cousins and stuff in Jamaica, all my cousins is here. So you don't even want that problem. You understand? You ain't grew up here. You moved here. I grew up here. Your army little. This whole country is my army. Watch what you're talking about. So this is why when I was in LA, I did well because could be around the Crips and the Bloods and all them because they was FBA and they recognized me as FBA. We didn't know what that was at that time, but they know, oh, he a Black American. He one of us. So I had more power than Jamaican and Trinidad Rastas in LA, in Chicago, in this whole United States. I got more power than them. because they can't go to the regular people and make a move. But I can make regular blacks move. I don't got to get no black American rosters. I could just go get black Americans, a lot of them. I'm just saying. I got the power here. You got the power when you go home. And when you go home, your home is little. Your home not big like the United States. You on a little island. You ain't big and massive like that. You ain't like Nigerians or Ethiopians. No, they massive. Them islands, you ain't nobody to try to come with no law here in Chicago or L.A. You can't make policy here. You got to make policy in your homeland. This is my homeland. And this is what a lot of foundational black Americans don't understand. This is our homeland. My homeland is not Africa. I don't know nothing about Africa. I know about New York. I know about Cleveland. I know about Detroit. I know about Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, San Francisco. I know about that, but I don't know nothing about none of them other places. I know the United States, though. This is my turf. Africa is not my turf. Africa is a land that I might have had relatives at many moons ago. That's irrelevant. Generations before me was born in the United States. And I was born in the United States in 1958. My mom and daddy was born in Alabama. Their relatives was born in Alabama. Nobody I know was born in Africa in my family. So I'm not doing Africa. I respect it as an ancient place where a lot of brown people got bloodlines. My daughter went and got her DNA. It came back Ethiopian and Egyptian. I know we got Ethiopian and Egyptian DNA, but that ain't where we from now in this time. We here, and we got to deal with what we got to deal with here. Imagine you living in a house in St. Louis, but you worrying about somebody somewhere else, and you ain't worried about your house you live in. You worrying about somebody else's house somewhere, but your house in St. Louis, and you ain't doing everything to make sure your house is clean and your house is taken care of, your house is safe. You dreaming about some other house somewhere else. Foundational Black Americans got to stop dreaming about some other house and start dreaming about the houses here, and stop letting people tell you all this nonsense about Africa and all that. There's 50 million of us over here. You can't take no 50 million people to Africa, so stop listening to Pan-Africans talking stupid. There's 50 million of us. You cannot just transfer them to no Africa. So we need to focus on how we're going to survive 50 million over here. Ain't no Pan-African got no plan to get you to Africa. Because over here, 95% of Pan-Africans ain't even going to go over there they doggone self. Dr. Umar's never going to move to Africa unless the police is looking for him for fraud. Then he'll run there. But he might be like his hero, Marcus Garvey, and run to Europe. Because Marcus Garvey never moved to Africa. And that's the Pan-African head man. So if the head man never went to Africa, why would I listen to that nonsense? I'm here. And we need to unite as brothers and sisters. Those of us that's foundational Black Americans, we need to unite. And you need to stop arguing about your lineage with other people that's respecting their lineage. Don't be expecting nobody that's holding their lineage down to tell you that you need to be one with them, but they still a Nigerian. You need to be one with them, but they still a Jamaican. They're going to tell you, no, we are brothers and sisters. But then when they get off the live stream, they back Jamaican. You ain't no all brothers and sisters. He's a yard man. He a Nigerian. He's not your brother and your sister. He a Nigerian. He not even the brother and sister of an Ethiopian. West Africans ain't even brothers and sisters with East Africans. Stop listening to that foolishness. They don't even mess with each other. Man, we don't want to hear none of that. Block them people out of our circle so we can focus and have conversations about what we need to do. We need to build. We got foundational Black Americans here suffering, trying to pay their bill. We got foundational Black American women with children that's single. Maybe they broke up with their king that need help. We sitting up here, got to depend on somebody to give us link cards and food stamps, and when we need to be able to take care of ourselves. We have to focus. And we ain't got no time to argue with nobody else that's already delineated. That's all I wanted to get straight. Don't let nobody shame you from delineating when they already delineated. How they gonna tell you we should all be one and they already delineated? They Jamaican, they Trinidad, and they Ghanaian, and they Nigerian. And then they tell you don't be something, but they something. They tell you, no, don't you be nothing. We just all brothers and sisters for you. But me, I'm a specific Jamaican, or I'm a specific Nigerian. And when you say, well, I'm a specific FBA, now they got a problem with it. Now they got a problem with you being specific, but they all specific. All these Black people that's not from here, they are a specific something. And now we're a specific something. And they can like it or they can get the hell out of our whole area. Because we need to stop supporting all these people and start building our own restaurants, our own businesses, and go back to what we was doing back in the early days, before the Great Depression, before Black Wall Street. We need to go back to that. Our barbershops, our beauty shops. Stop going to them other people, ladies, to get your hair done. Black woman, instead of you going to somebody to get your hair done, you start doing the hair and getting that bread. Why aren't you doing the sisters' hair? Sisters, foundational Black American women. Why aren't you doing foundational Black American women's hair? Why aren't you learning how to be courteous? Why aren't you learning how not to be ghetto, arguing with your own sister and do their hair just like better than everybody else? Because a lot of times our women have been beat up and everything in these Korean businesses. They trying to keep us gaslit, but we trying to keep us gaslit too. Because how somebody gonna keep you somewhere if you focus? They're not trying to keep you gaslit. You're gaslit lighting yourself by listening to it. At what point, Twilight, are we gonna take responsibility for even listening to them? Do y'all see me ever arguing with any Africans? Anybody? No. What I do? I tell them, come back tomorrow, block them. It's a block party over here. I'm not letting you come over here with nothing. Stop focusing on them and focus on our own situation. Before I'll argue day after day with Black immigrants, I'll go outside and try to get these GDs and BDs from gangbanging. I would do better doing that. My time would be better spent in Chicago going out here, standing on these shorties to stop gangbanging, stop tearing up the community, and get them to open some business. I'd rather go back and forth with them than somebody from Africa somewhere. When I got shorties right here, y'all got Black men and Black women right where y'all live at, that y'all can go outside and try to help them and straighten them out. So you don't got no time to be arguing with nobody. Tell them to shut up talking to us. They already delineated. That's all I wanted to get across, because I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, these people delineated. All these people that's hating on us for delineating are delineated. You would think Africans would say, good for y'all, y'all delineating. We delineated. Nah. And why would I listen to an African woman that got blonde hair in her head and got her hair straight way over in Africa? I guess one thing for a black woman to be here under the immediate oppression from way back in the 1700s and beat her down so she had wigs and now she got blonde hair and all that. But it's another thing for you to be in the motherland with some straight hair on your head. Why would we listen to you? You in the motherland, you in your own land, doing your hair like a European. What can a black man in Africa tell me when he can't control his woman in Africa? Why would I listen to a black man in Africa when his woman walk around blonde hair in her head and straight hair in her head in Africa? Putting lightning in her skin in Africa. Shouldn't he be talking to them? Shouldn't he be talking to them? You in Africa. Who's worse? A black woman in America with blonde hair or a black woman in Nigeria? The black woman in America with blonde hair, it makes sense. You in the Congo. You in Ghana with straightening your hair in Ghana. They already delineated. Don't y'all be ashamed. Y'all the first, listen, y'all the first generation can delineate. Don't let nobody fool you. I talked to a brother about this the other day. You know why y'all delineating? Because you're the first group that could delineate. You say, Pharaoh, why? Because you're the first group got internet. There was no way to build a big movement until the internet. You couldn't build a big movement in Cleveland, all the way in Chicago, if you only had a phone and didn't know how to call them, and all you had was TV and radio. Before now, you couldn't see me talking. The only reason you could see me talking, I can get a message up, is because of the internet. So the internet is allowing us now to move nationally and internationally if we want to. So that's why we delineating, because we got the internet. That's the only reason it's happening now. Couldn't happen before now. Couldn't happen. So now let's take advantage of the internet and let's build us a movement and let's build us some businesses. Well, we ain't got to worry about Trump cutting off money. If we spend our money with ourselves, stop spending your money with Africans, with Mexicans, with Asians. Spend your money with yourself. And if you got to spend your money with somebody, spend it with white Americans. And it ain't nobody want this, because I'll destroy you in a debate. Because if this is the United States and this is where we live with, all these circles on the outside is Jamaica and Korea and Africa. When you spend your money on one of them circles, are you going to get any of it back? But if you spend your money inside that circle, you got a chance to give it back. So you got a better chance on getting your money back, spending it in here with white Americans where it's going to stay here, than to spend it with an African or a Korean or a Mexican that's going to send it far away. How you going to get any of it back? We can get money back if we spend it with white America because they right here. Not to mention they providing jobs. We work for them, not like slaves for companies. Everybody got to work, make some money. Keep the money inside of the USA. Stop listening to this black stuff, spending the money with somebody, he sent it all the way to Jamaica. You can't never get none of it back. If you spend the money with white America, they're going to go to a football game. The blacks on the football team is millionaires. That's money coming from white Americans going to the football game, going to the basketball game. Where Michael Jordan get his money from? Spend it here. Don't spend it to nobody that's going to send it outside the country. Spend it to somebody where it's going to circulate in the country. You do better spending your money with white America than immigrants that's going to mail it out the country, and it might not come back forever. Facts. Later for all that black nonsense. Later for that global black nonsense. Global blackness is nonsense. If you ain't got a global black business or a global black military, you're just talking global black nonsense, okay? Period. Period. We on YouTube and Gmail. We need to spend the money with YouTube. YouTube paying us back, ain't they? How many black people y'all making money on YouTube? All right, then. YouTube ain't the enemy. Gmail, Google on YouTube. And how many blacks is living well off of Google? A lot of us. It's black people making $10,000 a month on YouTube, $20,000 a month, $90,000 a month. Flacco said he making like $90,000 a month. How much Shannon Sharp making on YouTube? How much Cam and Mace making on YouTube from white America, Google? Google doing more for us than any African, any Jamaican, any Mexican, or anybody in any other country. I'm just keeping it a billion. I'd rather spend my money with Google. At least I'm getting it back. Yeah, I'd rather spend my money with YouTube, with Gmail and Google, because I'm getting it back. I'm getting some back. Yeah. Foundational black what? Americans. We ain't foundational black Africans, foundational black Mexicans, foundational black Koreans. Spend your money with black Americans and white Americans. I'll just tell you, spend your money where it's going to stay in America. Because if you spend your money with anybody else, they're going to ship it out the country. And how you going to get it back? How you going to get any of it back? Spend your money where it's going to circulate, where you can get some back. Yeah, I said it. That's who we want our reparations from, the United States. Y'all focus. Stand on your lineage. Stand on your lineage in this country. And don't make up nothing you're going to be when you can get reparations and you can get all this money and all of a sudden you want to be something where you ain't going to get a dime. You got to be crazy. Yeah, they breaking bread. And a lot of whites is breaking bread. You know, this stereotyping whites is corny too. Because everybody know it ain't white people. That's just like saying black people. We already know when you say black people, you bogus because we ain't all the same. So why would you turn around and say white people? I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Mexican people. I'm just saying Mexicans send too much money back to Mexico. That's all. I don't hate them. Africans send too much money back to Africa. We ain't trying to send our money to Africa. We need to keep the money here so we can get some. Do you know how much money Koreans sending to Korea? Stop spending money with people that's sending it out the country. The Chinese are sending money to China, buying their stuff in China, ain't buying nothing from you. All their money going to China. You understand? Spend your money in America so you can get some back. Like I said, you want to keep your money in this circle. If you spend it in these circles on the outside, it's gone. If you give it to Jamaica, you're going to send it to Jamaica. If you give it to an African, you're going to send it to Africa. If you give it to a Korean, he's going to send it to Korea. You give it to Mexican, he's going to send it to Mexico. But if you spend it with black, foundational black Americans and white Americans, it'll stay in America where you got a chance to get it. You want your money to be right there where it say USA, where you can get it. You can't get it when it's out there in one of them little circles. It's gone. You want your money to stay right here so you can figure out how to get some. You don't want to get nobody your money, going to send it out there. That's one reason Trump trying to get them out of here, because they taking money out the country. They ain't got no love for the country. They in here trying to milk the country. They don't care nothing about this country. They just vampires sucking the blood of the United States, where we live at. So don't let nobody tell you don't love where you live at. Gonna try to brainwash you and come from Africa and tell you don't love where you live at just because he don't love Nigeria where he live and he had to run. No, they don't care. They just here to take the money. And I don't care nothing about them taking the money. The only reason I don't like them taking the money because then I can't get none. That's all. It's personal. It's personal. I'm trying to keep the money here where I can get it. If it was a way I could still get it and they could take it out of here, I wouldn't care. If you had a radio and I live next door and I said, let me borrow your radio and I'm going to take it next door, you'll loan it to me. Would you loan me your radio to take it to Nigeria? Would you loan me your radio to take it to Mexico? No. But you'll loan it to me if I'm next door, because you can come next door, knock on the door, say, man, let me get my radio back. But if I take your radio to Korea, your radio gone, okay? Keep it a billion. So it's FBA all day. We not playing no games. Man, we FBA, we pushing FBA excellence. We ain't trying to hear nothing. And we not arguing. No more arguing over FBA. They want to argue over FBA. Tell them go all that Tariq. That's what he do. He shut people down because he monetizes shutting them down. So let's help him make some money, direct all the haters over there so he can get a big bag and drive up his views, shutting them down. He's doing a great job. He don't need my help. Tariq don't need us to be on these people's neck. Let him do it. While we focus, let him do that while we focus on the mission of reparations. Be smart about this. Let's focus on reparations. Let him go after the tethers. It's perfect. We support him. We support him. Get him. But we also got to focus too. Everybody can't be over there thinking about that. You know, everybody ain't in the Army. If he's the Army, you still need an Air Force, a Marines, and a Navy, and a Coast Guard. So let him be the Army. But who's going to be the Navy? Who's going to be the Air Force? Who's going to be the Marines? Who's going to be the Coast? We need to be the other stuff. We support them 1,000,000,000%, but we still got to push reparations. While he on their neck, we need to be trying to push reparations, and we need to be trying to push unity amongst ourselves, because we can't get no reparations if we not unified. Especially the black man. Black man, we got to unify. That's why when brothers come over here, I'll be respecting them. As long as they ain't just messing up everything, I don't be disrespecting no brothers or nothing like that. They over here, they watching, they doing their thing. As long as they ain't misleading nobody and they over here, they soldiers. I got nothing but love for all the brothers over here watching. I got some down brothers over here. They don't be making no mess. They don't be ruining the chat and stuff. They 100. They already know. They already know they don't supposed to agree with everything I'm saying. They super smart. We ain't on that. You ain't got to tell me you don't agree with everything I'm saying. That sounds crazy. Of course you don't. Duh. But the thing about not agreeing with everything somebody say, sometimes it take a little while to find out what they saying. You know how many things I didn't agree with that I agree with now? I just didn't know what them older brothers was saying. I thought I didn't agree with what they saying, but when I analyzed the situation, I'm like, oh, that's what he was saying. So I didn't know what he was saying until I looked further in the world. I said, oh, this what he mean. Now, when I seen him said it, I didn't agree. I didn't know what he was saying. That's why I don't be disagreeing with what nobody say when I'm watching teachers and stuff, because I got to wait to see what they say. I just remember it. And that's why we teach you, brothers, stop trying to accept what you hear somebody say. Just remember it. That's all you got to do. You don't got to believe it. That's how I got a lot of knowledge. When brothers said stuff, I ain't try to believe it. I just remembered it. I ain't try to believe it. That's too much work. You know, it's too much work for me to try to believe all this stuff this brothers be saying. So I just remember it and then just go through life. And then if I remember it, life show me what they saying. I don't got to believe it right then. Just listen to the brother. That's it. This idea that you got to believe it right then, that's a bad way to learn. Like, you don't got to believe nothing right then. Just listen to it. They trying to teach y'all that you either got to believe it or disagree. That's nonsense. You don't have to believe or disagree. All you got to do is remember what they said. That's it. Why? If you disagree, you're going to throw it out. You need to hold knowledge, because nobody can teach you knowledge. You got to learn. My grandmama said, can't nobody teach you, you got to learn. So when you hear this information, you store it. Then you go out in the world and learn. And now you got all this information where you can pull stuff up. Because I might tell you something and you say you don't believe it, but you should have remembered it and got out in the world, and you might have seen an upgrade, because the next time you see me, I might have upgraded that teaching. I'd be upgrading my teachers. A lot of my stuff I'll be saying, I'll be upgrading it. I took a bunch of videos down when they demonetized me. And then I was going to go edit. I went and edited some of them. And when I edited, I said, oh, I can't put this part up. I don't even say that no more. I had to cut stuff out of my own videos that I said 7, 10 years ago. I don't say some of that stuff. I upgraded. But what I said, without me standing on that, how you going to upgrade? If you're walking up some stairs and you don't like the 8th stair, how you going to get to the 12th stair? So go ahead and step on the 8th stair. That don't mean you got to stand there. You still going to step on 9, 10. Anyway, so a lot of knowledge that you don't agree with is still valuable for you to build on. Seriously, a lot of stuff I heard, if I didn't take it in, I wouldn't have been able to build off of it because I would have just rejected it. Now I ain't got nothing to build on. But when I take it in, then I keep thinking about it, I can make it new and improved. But if I rejected it, I can't even make it new and improved. I'm back at square one. So you got to remember everything. Don't be trying to. I used to listen to Sunrise. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I didn't try to know what he was talking about. I just remembered it. I ain't trying to figure out if he was right or wrong. None of my teachers did I ever try to figure out if they was right or wrong. Did Gregory, when I went to see any historian, scholar, I never tried to figure out if they was right or wrong. I just listened to it. I didn't feel it would make no sense for me to try to figure out if it was right or wrong. What good, why would I try to figure that out? I don't care anyway. You know what I'm saying? You don't care, so why you try to figure out if it's right or wrong? You only figure out what's right and wrong, pertinent things. Like if you're going to get on the bus, is this the right bus going to take you to your stop? But as far as just knowledge, why you got to try to figure out if it's right and wrong? You're trying to figure out things you're actually doing. Is this the right way to cook your food or are you going to burn it? That's when it's important. But when it's knowledge, you just take it in. But stand on foundational Black Americans. That's our lineage. That's what we standing on. We trying to get reparations. Don't be getting distracted. Don't be trying to join this and join that and do this and do that. Stick on what you're sticking on so that our children can get their reparations, our grandchildren. It's about time we stand on something. These people that cheated us and kept our money all these years. Kept all your ancestors' money. Your ancestors did all that work. I don't care what nobody say. If your family was here, a lot of generations, they worked and got robbed. I don't give a damn. You talking about you a Moor. If you've been a Moor over here a long time, your family got robbed. Your great-great-granddaddy, great-great-great-great-granddaddy got robbed. If they was over here. Now you going to let somebody rob your family and don't go get your money? You a coward. That's all I got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Stand on your lineage. Stand on delineating because everybody's delineated. Don't let nobody that's delineated tell you don't be delineated. How a Nigerian going to tell you don't be FBA when he a Nigerian? Make it make some sense. Make it make some sense. Stand on business. You know what I'm saying? And read some books and learn what's going on. Study. We got to push for reparations. Let's not kick this can down the road for our children and grandchildren. Let's go ahead and get this taken care of. All right? Victory.